So if the heat of the sun travels 93 million miles all the way to the Sahara Desert, don't you think it would be absolutely absurd to think that it couldn't travel another 4,000 miles to Antarctica where it's freezing? It's literally a difference of 0.0004%. Now make sure to stick around because I'm going to show you tangible evidence and extreme logic that's going to show you how everything works. So we're going to play a little game here. It's called What Makes More Sense? Now this is what the globe heads believe. The sun is 1,000,000 times bigger than the earth, 93 million miles away, and it's all about angles of incidence. That's how we experience night and day. That's how we experience seasons. This is why at the equator it's scorching hot, but only 4,000 miles away at the poles it's freezing. Because the angle of the earth. Now what makes more sense? This or what every single one of our ancient ancestors told us? Where the sun and the moon are the same size and the same distance away from the earth within the firmament above. Now check this out. This is the Gleason's map. This was the standard map of the world before the world elites came along. This is the flat earth map. And speaking of world elites, it is the exact same map that they use in the United Nations logo, with 33 sections marking 33 degrees to Freemasonry, because these parasites are all high-ranking Freemasons deceiving humanity. Now back to the Gleason's map, which is both scientifically and practically correct. Now take notice at the bottom portion of the map right here, it's going to explain the seasons. Now at the bottom of the map here, you'll see the December solstice. This is where the sun rotates more towards the south, on the outer perimeter of our stationary flat earth. And this is exactly what that looks like. So all the people in the middle experience winter. And on the other side of the map, we have the June solstice, where the sun rotates more towards the North Pole, which looks like this. So all the people in the middle experience summer. And then we have the fall equinox, which is in between summer and winter. Now you can validate this yourself by your own two eyes. In the summer, take notice of where the sun sets. I live in Canada. I watch where the sun sets in the summer. As the seasons progress towards the winter, the sun will set more south. This is the North Pole. Everything this way, this way, this way, it's all south. This is why compasses only point towards north, because it's the magnetic center of our stationary Earth. Earth is literally a torus field. Now this is how night and day works on the true model of Earth. It's just like the yin and the yang symbol. Everything was created in complete balance. The sun is masculine, the moon is feminine. Now ask yourself, what makes more sense to you? What I just explained or this absolute nonsense? The sun is 93 million miles away, 1,000,000 times bigger than the earth, and it's all about angles. You're a globetard if you believe that. Light only travels straight, guys. Even National Geographic is showing you perfectly parallel sun rays here. Yet this is actually what we observe with our own two eyes, perfectly angled rays all the time. The sun is clearly local, just like all of our ancestors told us. Use your own mind. These United Nations parasites, these satanic fucking worshipping people have been deceiving you your whole life. The truth will set you free. Look guys, I completely understand that when you start to see this truth, it gets very lonely along this path. Hard to collaborate and talk to other people about these things. This is exactly why I've created the Truth Seeker Society, an exclusive club for like-minded individuals who seeks to understand the true nature of our reality, crack the codes to this matrix, break free from the system, and manifest a life of abundance and freedom. There is massive things happening within this community, and I want you to be a part of it. If you wish to seek the truth and you want to break free, then click the link in my bio. I'll give you 7 days of completely free access, and I will see you in the Truth Seeker Society. Peace and love.
This isn't a church, it's a piece of technology. And let me show you what they do to these buildings to turn them off. They say this is because lightning might strike and they need to bring the electricity down into the ground. But look at this cable, it goes all the way up the building to the spire. Because if they didn't do this, if they didn't put this grounding rod in, this building would still be turned on. Because this is a free energy device. And there's a mint documentary for you to check out. It's on YouTube. It's called The Lost History of the Flat Earth. And it goes into detail about these buildings, the reason for the buttress. This glass would have been added at a later date. So this would have been empty. So this whole building would have been a resonator, a free energy device. And as I said, all this glass was added at a later date. And this was to pay homage to the creator. Frequency, cymatics, and sound. People could be enjoying this building, feeling the energy that this building emits, but instead it's here, it's boarded up, it's locked, and it's going to waste. It's switched off. So here's what we need to do. We need to get these buildings turned back on.
Well, I finally got to debate Vor. He's a good guy and all, but it's just so sad he doesn't see eye to eye with the flat earth, even though it's objective reality that is provable by science, and the globe model is not provable at all and has no evidence. Someone, though, has got to go. I'm going to say it anyway. If we're inside of a car, and I spray gases in the car, okay? The gases spread out in all directions and they fill the car up. Now, what happens when we open the sunroof to those gas molecules?
Yeah, they'll go. Yeah.
They'll go out. Okay, great. Due to entropy, they fill available space. The new volume you've added, they've seeked equilibrium with the new volume. So, according to the second law of thermodynamics, all of the air you are currently breathing would escape into the infinite vacuum and you'd have no air to breathe. Now, I'm going to show you a demonstration of this scientist here who has gas in one chamber, a valve, and a vacuum. 100 times out of 100 times, every single time he opens that valve, it's going to seek equilibrium 100% of the time because of entropy. So I'm going to show you that now. And boom, seeks equilibrium. Now, let's imagine now, instead of that volume for that vacuum being small, okay, it's infinite in size. It's coexisting next to your globe, right, with its gas around it. Every time he opens that valve to that now infinite vacuum of 10 to the minus 17 torque, all of the gases are going to escape here into the infinite vacuum. The vacuum's going to come in. It'll be a vacuum at sea level, and life would cease to exist on the Earth. So if this photo here from NASA, okay, the pale blue dot, see that Earth there? See all this black stuff? That's an infinite vacuum. That little bit of gas that's on this tiny little dot would go like this, whoop, just like when he opened the valve. And everything I just said, Vol, is scientifically correct. You cannot
sure.
refute it.
No, absolutely. Yeah, when you release air out of a valve on the Earth, it's definitely the same as the Earth into the universe. It's definitely the same.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't refute anything what I just said. You can't refute it.
How could I possibly? Okay, what are the meteorites then? So the meteorites that we see are the self-cleaning mechanism of the firmament?
Skipping over this, right?
Yeah, the tiny small scale version where they release gas into a vacuum on the Earth in a room has nothing to do with a massive planet with massive gravity and whatever atmospheric conditions and pressures there are and space. There's no correlation.
Yes,
that is a tiny. It's what that is just flat Earth science, where it's like, look at this tiny thing. No, therefore, whatever you believe the Earth is flat, or your globe, you're stupid. That's all that is. Like I'm not a molecular, spatial, metric scientist observer, so I can't speak to this.
Science is scalable.
This to me for this to be a 1-to-1 correlation of the globe and the size of the globe and however our atmosphere works, which I'm okay with, like ideas that maybe there is something to do with density and maybe, we don't fully understand gravity or whatever. Like, I don't know if science has this fully settled, but the idea that you're doing something here in a vacuum with bubbles or whatever, and therefore the atmosphere can't hold to the Earth and the firmament's then true is a wild leap in logic to me.
No. Every time he opens this valve, it's going to seek equilibrium.
I don't care. It's a tiny little experiment.
Science is scalable. So your globe paradigm...
Is it? Is science scalable?
Yeah. That's why the globe is not science, because it's not scalable. Did you know that? Can you please create for me... Hey, Vor, I'll give you $1 million, okay? I'll believe in space if you can do this for me.
Sure.
Even just a video of someone doing it, proving it in an experiment. Show me someone recreating a vacuum without a container using your belief in gravity, and I'll believe in space. Go.
Perfect. I don't care. I don't want you to believe in space. I would like you to not tell people that you're a Christian and that you believe in the Bible and the Bible says the Earth is flat, but you guys should totally go to your flat Earth camp and you guys should just run around and eventually you would run out of atmosphere.
Okay, so is your question, when we go up, why does it get colder? Is that your first question?
I don't have a question. I know how it works.
You know how it works. So can you please just show me an experiment of someone recreating a gas pressure gradient with a container? I'll give you the container. Show me a gas pressure gradient, basically recreating one with gravity.
Is it exhausting to do this?
I can show you why in a container
This
right
is
now.
exhausting, isn't it?
I can show you now.
I don't care about your fucking small container. The Earth is massive.
Exactly. So
I
you
don't
scale
care.
this up now,
Oh my
and it's
God.
going to have a bigger gradient. Exactly.
I need.
Remember how I
this
told you
is-
science is scalable?
This is so hard. This is
So-
so hard for me.
Let
I
me
don't
explain it.
I don't know what to do, you guys. Flat Earth really gets under my skin.
Right.
It's don't unmute yourself. I need to talk right now. I don't like how this makes me feel. I don't like the fruit that this bears. I don't like that he's going to continue to unmute. I need to hear in the chat if you guys want me to continue this conversation or not, because like I can keep it together with the atheists. I can keep it together with people that are telling me I should bite a bullet. Flat Earth gnaws on every one of my last nerves. This conversation that I'm having with him right now is my nightmare.
It's the one and only DETOXIFY. You know what happened with the
July the 8th was a very interesting day. It was the day that even the Weather Channel proclaimed to be an impossible day on the globe. I only found one video, and that was also made by the Weather Channel, trying to demonstrate this event on the globe. And as we can see here, the light of the sun clearly covers 60 to 70% of the globe. So we have 60 to 70% of the globe wrapped in sunlight. That's impossible on the heliocentric model. Sunlight cannot cover more than 50% of the globe. But as you see on this simulation by the Weather Channel, to be possible for the sunlight to cover all those regions on Earth, it's necessary that the sunlight covers between 60 to 70% of the globe. Not being able to show, many news channels are showing the Mercator's projection because that's the only one they can show.
One more thing this half hour. There is a rare phenomenon happening right now across the globe. As of about 3 minutes ago, 7:15 Eastern Time, 99% of the entire world's population is facing the sun. That means we're all experiencing some degree of sunlight at the exact same time, either full daylight or for a lot of other folks, twilight. If you look at the map right there, just the Pacific Islands and Australia, the Australian region, are fully in the dark. 99% of the world.
And California. Poor California.
Yes.
You know what? What a cool phenomenon.
This poor guy, he tried to demonstrate on the globe how that could be possible, but he failed miserably, so he had to go to his computer and demonstrate on the Mercator's projection.
On July 8th of every year at 11:15 Universal Time, that translates to about 7:15 Eastern Time, 99% of the world's population, just over 99% of the world's population, is actually in sunlight. The reason is actually kind of interesting once we kind of delve into this a bit. So, I mean, if you look at the Pacific Ocean, this just kind of gives you a rough idea. Imagine if the sun was lighting up this section of the Earth. You see that there'd be a very small amount of Earth's population.
Right.
But over here, when you get Asia, Africa, maybe some of North America and some South America, you can see that you have a much larger percentage of the Earth's population that could be in sunlight. Let me reference this tweet. It's actually kind of cool. And if you take a look, they actually put a map with it that helps explain this just a little bit. So if I zoom in just a tad, what you can see is that each July 8th at 11:15 UTC, Universal Time, that's Greenwich Mean Time if you're kind of curious, right through Greenwich, England.
So it is impossible for the sunlight to wrap around the globe between 60 to 70%. So there is no other day like July 8th to demonstrate how wrong the heliocentric model is. And to better understand, all we have to do is to convert the Mercator projection into the flat Earth map and see how it makes more sense on the flat Earth map. With a small sun, a small local sun, you can see here how it illuminates those regions on Earth, leaving the majority of Earth in the dark. Only on the flat Earth model, even this map by Weather Channel, I converted into a flat Earth map, and you can see here it's better explained with a small and local sun circulating over the flat Earth, we can see how this is possible for a day like July the 8th. If you still believe in the heliocentric model, yesterday was the day for you to drop that model and realize we don't live on a spinning ball spinning around the universe. The Earth is flat.
Look at what really occurs on July 8th, because the media really just makes the statement that 99% of the population is in sunlight this day. So I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, 99%, but they don't talk about the surface area on the Earth that's being covered with light. So that's what we're going to look at in this presentation, and we're going to compare it with both the circular level plane Earth versus the globe. And so you can see where the sun is there. It's located in Africa here. So you can see all the lit up area is the daytime. I put this night on the sides here to show, where we're at. Everybody's got to realize we've seen all these pictures, all these graphics of how the sun's hitting the globe Earth. And I just chose different seasons here. But you're always seeing it lighting up half of the globe for all seasons. So this is a geometric limitation of what the sun and the globe heliocentric model can do. The sun light rays always provides daylight on 50% of the Earth's surface area, no more and no less. Always 50%. It can never, ever, ever change. Okay, this is the key. So now we're finding out, okay, the maximum square mileage on half of the Earth being lit is 98,355,957 square miles. No more and no less. Always that number. So now we're going to take a look at the actual data for sunlight on July 8th. And when we do that, now this is a limitation of the sun and the geoid spherical Earth. Then if we look at it on a globe map, we created this. Basically, this is the daylight side of the Earth. Then on the back side, which are called the nighttime side, no sunlight. And we still got 180 degrees latitude and 180 degrees longitude. We got 12 hours of nighttime. Now, I'm using the Mercator map. I'm saying this would be the expected sunlight coverage on the spherical geoid Earth on July 8th. And this is the limitation now of 180 degrees latitude and longitude for it. This is the actual data now, as you can see here. Okay, so there's point 1 south of the sun, location 1, location number. So I show you the location numbers as it goes around from the data on the spreadsheet. Sun is zenith at plus 22.4 latitude, plus 4.54 longitude, Belma, Nigeria. So you can see as we go around, for a while it stays within, on the bottom half. When we get to that equator, it's going way beyond the sunlight coverage that the heliocentric model allows. Wow. And then we go the other way around. As soon as it's the equator, it's doing the same thing over here. Okay? So daylight coverage, over 50% of the geoid Earth is shown on either side here in black. So there you go.
That's incredible.
This is physically impossible for the spherical geoid Earth to do this. It's limited to be 50% all the time daylight. And again, I'm just showing this to show you that this looks very similar when you look at the coverage here. You look at my lines. I'll go back and forth. But you can see it's very, very similar. I stayed within the full daylight. You can see that. I didn't use any twilight. Because you can see that point there, 0.6, right there in South America. It's pretty much the same spot. So now let's look at it on this type of a globe map. So we've got a daylight side and nighttime side. It's a mirror of the data, like location 6 is a mirror of location 18 on the other side.
Wow.
It just shows you all the daylight on the nighttime side. So it's physically impossible to, for the data that's being shown for July 8th. Yeah, that's why they're saying, it's 99% of the population. They ignore the surface area of what's going on, okay?
This is huge. There's no way around it. You can't say refraction. You have to have a second sun theory popping up. Something has to happen to provide that much sunlight. The dimensions of the globe would have to change drastically.
Right.
Wow.
Yep. So now, this is kind of a summary. The actual sunlight coverage on July 8th, 2024 at time 11:15 UTC proves that Earth is not a globe/geode, but instead a circular level plane. Because on a heliocentric globe or geode, it is geometrically and physically impossible for sunlight to exceed 50% of the Earth's surface area. However, on July 8, 2024 at time 11:15 UTC, we have proven sunlight exceeds 50% of the Earth's surface area and is lighting up nighttime areas of the globe or geode Earth when it should never occur. Therefore, this evaluation proves that Earth is not a globe or a geoid. So this is the coverage. You can see here's the sun. That's in Doma, Africa. Location 1 is here. And 2 is going clockwise around. Okay, all the way around. You can see the geometry of things working out because it's intelligently designed. And that's why it shows the data there, because it's hitting all longitude lines.
What do you guys know about meltology? You don't know about it? Let's talk about it. Meltology is the idea that certain mountains were actually once melted buildings. And here's a real good example of this. Check this place out in Bolivia. It's called Ciudad de Roma. Because it kind of looks like a city, doesn't it? That's interesting because that translates in English to City of Rome. That's pretty weird, right? In Bolivia? And what's also weird is that in Bolivia it has lots of Greco-Roman architecture. I wonder if the two could be related. I think they might be. What do you guys think? Do you think this could have been once an ancient city that was melted by the wrath of God? You know, in the Bible it mentions that the mountains are going to melt like wax on the day of the Lord. What if this is evidence that that day already happened? There's evidence all around God's green earth. Some stuff not so green, because it looks like it was melted.
Good afternoon. Aloha from Florida. Just about to head to the ocean and watch this electrical storm roll through. I always enjoy that. I just want to throw this out there for those of you who are looking into flat earth, you're considering, the heliocentric hypothesis, you're starting to question it anyway, which is quite literally a scientific absurdity. Once you get into it and you actually research reality for a while, you realize what we see in reality does not work with what we are told to believe about the earth being a spinning wet rock in outer space. But here's what I want to throw out there. The theoretical, hypothetical, imaginary science known as dark matter and dark energy, which makes up 96% of the blue ball belief system. Completely, totally theoretical, hypothetical, imaginary science known as dark matter and dark energy makes up 96% of the heliocentric hypothesis. Neil deGrasse Tyson, the astrophysicist, has even gone so far as to say, we are 96% stupid about the universe. Yeah, and you're 100% wrong about the Earth being a globe. The Earth is an intelligently designed, enclosed, electrical, magnetic, topographical, stationary plane that we commonly call flat Earth. I like to refer to it as geocentric cosmology. You could also call it the truth of creation. But if what you believe in when it comes to geography and astronomy depends on 96% dark matter and dark energy, which has never been proven, can you consider that maybe that theory is 100% wrong? Maybe all of the ancient cosmologies that depict the Earth as an enclosed system with a flat stationary plane in the middle, maybe all of them are correct. The historical precedence is on the side of flat Earth. The modern day observations of the sky moving over us like clock, like a divine clock. All of the luminaries are moving in perfect clockwork cycles over us, just like all the ancient civilizations knew to be true. You can confirm this for yourself. Or you can believe in a theory which depends on 96% dark matter and dark energy. A totally theoretical, hypothetical, imaginary, bullshit science worldview. Anyway, gonna go watch this storm roll by the ocean and enjoy the light show from the lightning. And I'll be listening to the thunder rolling, echoing off of something. I wonder what that is. Have a great day.